You know, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, and an education collaborative is raising awareness about the lack of Hispanic teachers in the U.S. And data shows less than 8% of teachers in America today identify as Hispanic. The Latinx Education Collaborative is now working to change that. We want to bring in the president and CEO of the organization, Edgar Palacios. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Let's talk a little bit about your organization first and foremost. If people haven't heard of it, what are some of the things that people should know about it?
Absolutely. So the LEC was founded in order to increase the representation of Latino educators in K-12. We are headquartered in Kansas City, and in Kansas City, only 1% of educators identify as Latino or Hispanic. And so that creates a huge disparity. A majority of our students in schools are Latino, and we're going to see that population grow significantly over the next 10 years. And so we know that when students see themselves reflected by the teachers that serve them, they're going to have better educational outcomes and experiences. And so our organization has set out to bridge that gap and to build the pipelines of Latino educators, not just in Kansas City, but across the Midwest.
Yeah, representation absolutely matters in all forms. And let's talk a little bit, because we have the same kind of dynamics in terms of a growing Hispanic base in terms of our students. What the difference is the Hispanic educators make for them in terms of maybe language barriers and other things.
It's interesting because I think there's a lot of additional value that Latino educators are bringing into classrooms every day. There's an understanding of the deep cultural nuances that exist within the Latino community. If our educators happen to be bilingual, they are seen as a resource and a connection point to the community at large. And they're advocating for Latino students as well as all students, but really thinking about how do you create the best conditions and environments for students to have great experiences. And so Latino educators, not just in Kansas City, but across the country, are in the classroom because they care about young people. And a lot of them are in the classroom because they didn't see themselves reflected in teachers when they were in schools. And so they understand deeply the importance of representation and what it can mean and the difference it can create in a young person's life.
And so how do we make sure that these educators feel supported? I know there was a study just last week about the dwindling number of people who even want to be educators even more.
I think first and foremost, as a community, we have to recognize that educators are the glue that hold communities together. And so if you have a teacher in your life that is important or has changed your life or has done something meaningful, I think recognition is incredibly important. So make sure to continue to support and recognize the educators doing the hard work. Two, we have to figure out some advocacy issues around teacher pay, making it easier for educators to engage within the education system. We also got to think about other pipeline issues such as universities and colleges and like the different types of programs and programming that are available there. But I think very, very simply ensuring that we are taking care of our educators and making sure that they feel appreciated, supported, that we're in communication with them, and that we're taking their voices and listening to their concerns and addressing them.
Yeah, pay versus responsibility was definitely on that list for people stepping away. Is there any kind of way, this is your moment if you want to give your group a pat on the back, is there something, in particular that you're really proud of when it comes to your organization, or a specific achievement that you want to highlight?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Kansas City, we're excited to have launched the Futuros program last year. And so we are currently up to 10 educators, Latino educators that are in classrooms because some of the programming and supports that we have provided. And so our goal is to add 50 new Latino educators into the Kansas City area by 2027. We are on track to hit that goal. And we're also excited to start building the community outside of Kansas City. We have some programming that we do in Indianapolis. We have community members that are in Chicago. And so we want to make sure that we are connecting and building those networks, because that is actually one of the strategies in order to retain and attract new educators. It is really deepening the relationships that currently exist, ensuring that educators understand that the world is a little bit bigger than just their classroom, that they have other people out there that are supporting them.
Yeah, so you have a model of success and you're hoping that it grows. Thank you so much for being here. And everybody, that website is right there on your screen, www.latinxedco.org, to find out more information. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for your time today.